Welcome to QuickBytes Education. Today's QuickByte is all about complementary versus supplementary angles, what they mean, how they are different, and how to find missing angle measures. Let's get started. Complementary and supplementary angles are easy to mix up. The words sound similar. They both describe pairs of angles, and they both show up all the time in geometry problems. But there is one simple difference you need to remember. Complementary angles add to 90 degrees. Supplementary angles add to 180 degrees. That's the big idea. In this lesson, we'll cover 5 things. First, what complementary angles are. Second, what supplementary angles are. Third, how to tell them apart. Fourth, how to find missing angle measures. And fifth, one important test word, linear pair. Complementary angles are two angles that add up to 90 degrees. That means together they make a right angle. For example, if one angle is 30 degrees and another angle is 60 degrees, they are complementary. Why? Because 30 plus 60 equals 90. Another example is 45 degrees and 45 degrees. Together, they also add up to 90 degrees. So the key number for complementary angles is 90. If two angles add to 90 degrees, they are complementary. Supplementary angles are two angles that add up to 180 degrees. That means together, they make a straight angle if they are placed side by side. For example, if one angle is 100 degrees and another angle is 80 degrees, they are supplementary. Why? Because 100 plus 80 equals 180. Another example is 120 degrees and 60 degrees. Together, they add up to 180 degrees. So the key number for supplementary angles is 180. If two angles add to 180 degrees, they are supplementary. Here's a simple memory trick. Complementary comes before supplementary in the alphabet, and 90 comes before 180. So complementary goes with the smaller number, 90. Supplementary goes with the larger number, 180. You can also remember it this way. Complementary angles complete a right angle. Supplementary angles stretch out to a straight angle. Right angle means 90 degrees. Straight angle means 180 degrees. Here's something important. Complementary and supplementary angles do not always have to be next to each other. They can be adjacent, which means they share a side and a vertex. But they do not have to be adjacent. What matters most is the total. If two angles add to 90 degrees, they are complementary. If two angles add to 180 degrees, they are supplementary. Even if the angles are in different parts of a diagram, the definition still depends on the sum. Now, let's solve a common problem. Suppose two angles are complementary and one angle is 35 degrees. What is the other angle? Since complementary angles add to 90 degrees, subtract 35 from 90. 90 minus 35 equals 55. So the missing angle is 55 degrees. Here's the rule. For a missing complementary angle, subtract from 90. Now, let's try a supplementary angle problem. Suppose two angles are supplementary and one angle is 110 degrees. What is the other angle? Since supplementary angles add to 180 degrees, subtract 110 from 180. 180 minus 110 equals 70. So the missing angle is 70 degrees. Here's the rule. For a missing supplementary angle, subtract from 180. Now, let's add one test term you will probably see. A linear pair is a pair of adjacent angles that form a straight line. Since a straight line measures 180 degrees, a linear pair is always supplementary. That means the two angles in a linear pair always add up to 180 degrees. But be careful, all linear pairs are supplementary. But not all supplementary angles have to be a linear pair. Supplementary angles only need to add to 180 degrees. A linear pair must be next to each other and form a straight line. Let's do a quick check. If two angles are 20 degrees and 70 degrees, are they complementary or supplementary? They are complementary because 20 plus 70 equals 90. If two angles are 45 degrees and 135 degrees, are they complementary or supplementary? They are supplementary because 45 plus 135 equals 180. If an angle is 25 degrees, what is its complement? 90 minus 25 equals 65, so the complement is 65 degrees. If an angle is 25 degrees, what is its supplement? 180 minus 25 equals 155, so the supplement is 155 degrees. Here's what you just learned. Complementary angles are two angles that add up to 90 degrees. Supplementary angles are two angles that add up to 180 degrees. To find a missing complementary angle, subtract from 90. To find a missing supplementary angle, subtract from 180. Complementary and supplementary angles do not always have to touch. A linear pair is made of adjacent angles that form a straight line, and every linear pair is supplementary because a straight line measures 180 degrees. If this helped you understand complementary and supplementary angles, watch the full Geometry Basics playlist next. Like, subscribe, and keep building your math confidence with QuickBytes education, one quick bite at a time.